ABC News. Bystanders tackled suspected Kansas City gunman after shooting that left 1 dead and 21 injured, according to a witness. There's actually video. I don't know if you guys have seen the video, but let me slow down here. Earlier today, Kansas City was celebrating their Super Bowl victory with their parade, large gathering of fans. Very family friendly, as I understand it. Except for when 3 suspects allegedly opened fire, striking 22, 1 person killed. Now, I got to clarify that statement. Striking several people, someone died. It has been clarified that the injuries may be the result of panic. Not all the people were shot, but it's a sad story. And man, it was worrying to see the breaking news. But let's try and get some of the details here. You can see in one video. I want to highlight basically what's going on with the. I pulled up this story because I want to highlight the suspects. Kansas City Mayor Quinton Lucas said there were 600 Kansas City, Missouri Police Department officers, 250 officers from outside agencies present at the scene. The mayor spoke to the Kansas City Chiefs, who clarified their prayers are with everyone at the parade today. About 1 million parade goers were expected at the celebration today. So this is crazy. Police spokesperson, or who is this? Graves. I was watching this all live, so I don't know the full name of the. I believe Kansas City Police Chief Stacey Graves said that she was angry, and the initial reports suggest that this was 3 guys who, or the suspects, had some kind of beef with each other. I will tell you this. You know what I find very strange? Can I just point out? It's very strange. I don't see anybody posting photos of the suspects who've been arrested. Have you guys?
I haven't seen anything.
I did not see that.
Here's an article from ABC News about the suspect, about a gunman being tackled. And there's no picture or video of anybody being tackled.
That's because it was a gunfight. Like, dudes, it was probably like gang beef or something like that. And a lot of people got caught in the crossfire. Thank God, like, more people didn't die. Thank God there was, hopefully more people don't end up dead. But if it was actually an attack on the people there, the death toll would have been higher.
But the question is, why are they writing stories about the suspects but not showing the suspects?
Oh, I mean,
There's a
the
million
obvious
reasons.
assumption is because it's their race and they don't want to inflame racial tensions.
Yes.
Well, and this
I was
is
gonna say that.
the narrative that's being inflamed right now, and it's unfortunate because it's unfortunate that's the case. But Ian Miles Chong says these are the 3 alleged gunmen in cuffs at the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl parade mass shooting. How quickly are they going to bury this? And we do see this video. I don't believe shows. It does show 3 individuals, 3 young black men who are being arrested. To clarify, we do not know that these men are the shooters. My understanding is they arrested a lot of people.
Oh.
It was being reported that their what do you call it? The range at which they were arresting people was extremely wide. They were basically like, detain now, whoever you might suspect, search them. If they're not the person, we release them. But the narrative, the concern right now is, and I'm going to say this outright. ABC News. I mean, serious question, and I think people are gonna immediately jump to the racial component of it. ABC News runs a story saying the suspect has been tackled by bystanders, and they don't show the video of it, and they don't show photos of it. And so when you get people all over Twitter now saying like, "Hey, what's going on with this?" It fits the stereotype that the media will not show or will not talk about mass shootings or tragedies when the shooter is, either not white or is LGBTQ. Like we just had the church shooting in Texas, and this story is falling off the corporate press so quickly.
Yeah.
When it turned out that it was a trans-identifying female who was abusing her kid. So I'm not saying it's absolute, but I am saying when you get people going online and complaining that when there is a mass shooting that is typically of an identity the left is trying to utilize for political gain, those stories die off, and then something like this happens, I can't say I'm surprised.
And not only is it, there's probably, I don't have any kind of like argument about the comments about racial stuff, but also the fact that if it was a gang related one, it's not a rifle. That means it's a handgun. That means it's not useful to the gun
I think one of them had a
control
rifle.
stuff. Oh, really?
I mean, let me pull up more details. 'Cause I think I was reading that there was at least one rifle. Yeah.
Well, then I stand corrected if that be the case. But gang shootings typically are not useful to the narrative that they're looking to
Right.
push.
Because they report those as mass shooting events, when in reality it's not really the case, or the reality of the case on the ground.
Because what they still want you to think there's hundreds and hundreds of school shootings per year. That's the intent. That's when they say mass shooting. They want you to, the imagery that comes up in your head is someone at a school, someone at a workplace with a rifle slaughtering people. Yeah. What really ends up happening with the vast majority of the mass shootings, it's gang shootings. Anytime 2 or more people get shot, then it's a gang shooting, or then it's a mass shooting.
Exactly.
And that means if dudes are fighting over turf and they start lighting each other up, and one dude gets hit, and the guy behind him gets hit, and the guy behind that gets hit with the same couple of rounds or whatever, that is considered a mass shooting. And again, it conjures up the idea of a mass shooter in a school slaughtering people with a long gun, when really what it is the same kind of street crime that people are familiar with and have been familiar with basically since.
So just to clarify, I had seen an article that had made that I believe referenced or a post or something that said a long gun of some sort. I could be wrong. I did a quick search for a couple articles. I'm not seeing anything about the weapons they used.
You could clarify and call these like school shootings mass executions, because the intention to go in and slaughter a bunch of people is executive, whereas a gang shootout, a bunch of people get shot. It wasn't really, your goal wasn't to execute a bunch of people. It was to shoot and get your way.
I disagree, because execution implies some kind of like just cause. I'm against death penalty, but typically,
what does it mean? Does it mean that the victim is helpless? Is that the execution? Is that what makes it an execution?
Someone right now I just tweeted at me, and they have a link, what looks like a person picking up an AR-15.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So
I'm pretty sure I read that there was a rifle of some sort.
I think so. It looks like there's someone picking up. It's not super.
And this says to me, I don't.
Yeah.
What I was watching Fox, and they were just like, this may be interpersonal. If there's a rifle there, I'm not so convinced. This sounds like something else. Yeah. It could be gang related, so there's industry behind it. I'm saying, like, I don't think it's like some guy was cheating on some guy, like some girl or something like that.
Yeah, in the middle of a parade.
Yeah.
They wanted to kill people.
If you watch, so like every once in a while I'll go and scroll through like videos of dudes like in the city with guns and stuff, and you see dudes, a lot of times they'll be showing like Glocks with the switch for a fully automatic Glock and stuff, but also you do tend to see a lot of pistol AR-15s with just the buffer tube. So it's reasonable to say
that looks like it's like an actual standard long gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know this, and I'm not going to pretend to be a gun expert, but there are pistols that look like rifles.
Yeah.
And they're classified legally as pistols.
And I don't like the path of the type of weapon you have on you indicates your intent. So I don't want to make it sound like just because there was a rifle means that he was going there to kill a bunch of people. Like he might have just been a gang banger that had a rifle.
Well, I mean, the thing, if you're going to get into a gunfight, you want to have a long gun.
Well, honestly, it depends on where you are.
Yeah, I tell you what, the professionals that enter houses, they carry AR-15s, 10.5-inch AR-15s. Those are the guys that go in there and get in gunfights professionally. They carry ARs. I'm going to carry an AR.
No, I don't disagree, but, we're not talking, like, you don't want a very long barrel indoors.
No. True, agreed.
That's why it was funny when, like, Biden was saying get a shotgun, and it's like, look, I got a 12-gauge Remington, and it's massive, and I couldn't. Like that thing's not going to be very effective indoors. Mm-hmm. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I'm not a close quarters combat guy. I don't know, but pretty much, you probably don't want one of those. It's crazy how they restrict so many guns that are like. I'll keep it super simple. The idea that suppressors are restricted. Look, it's crazy. Mm-hmm. I know that if someone breaks into my house and tries to kill me, I'm going to fire that gun. I will be deaf. Like it's so loud, and you're indoors, and the echo. You're not going. But you can't get a suppressor. It's just absolutely wild how difficult they make it to get a suppressor, which is basically increasing the safety.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. In Europe, there are places where you have to have suppressors,
right?
Where it's a safety issue because of sound levels.
Are guns legal? What's the legality in Spain?
I wish. No, we are not allowed to have guns. I guess if you're a hunter and you have some type of permission, you can, but you cannot defend yourself. So you guys are so lucky to have the Second Amendment.
Do people get guns anyway and then go and make
just
shootings?
Criminals, no.
But do criminals do that? There still is that kind of crime?
But then we cannot defend ourselves. The only person who have guns and are not like hunters are criminals.
What about the cops?
And cops, but I don't know at their house. I don't think they're allowed to have them at their house. I don't know. I have to check that.
But here's the important thing. You say they're criminals,
Yeah.
but even if they're not actively robbing or stealing, they are quite literally a criminal because guns are illegal.
Yeah. And they are carrying a gun, which is
Right.
completely illegal.
Does it happen where there's like gun violence and people are just like enraged that they're not legally permitted to carry weapons to defend themselves?
So the problem in Spain is that almost everyone is a socialist and they believe in peace and freedom and, oh, no guns. But then when they get shot, they just cry, but they don't say, I want a gun. Very few people. There's only one party, Vox Party, that believes in guns and the right to defend ourselves.
Did you used to have the right to defend yourself with guns and then they were taken away?
I don't think so. We never did.
Well, I mean, probably a really, really, really long time ago.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Hundreds and hundreds of years ago when guns were just like muzzle-loaded muskets or whatever.
But for example, right now I'm in my house and someone breaks in and I heard this person, not even with a gun, with like a knife or something. I am the criminal for defending my house and my property. I would go to jail, not this person. Actually, there's a case in Mallorca, one island in Spain, that a 90-year-old man defended himself. He had a gun. Maybe he was a hunter. And he was sentenced to go to jail. But at the end, he didn't end up going. But the 90-year-old man was supposed to go to jail for defending himself inside his
But then they overturned it?
Yeah, because he was so old or something.
What about
like
the
that.
guy that invaded the house? What happened to him?
Probably nothing. We praise criminals in Spain.
Yeah. Thanks for watching this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. Hang out with us live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. and become a member over at timcast.com for uncensored, members-only shows exclusive. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.